So I decided to make cuts on this video and do a little voiceover. Basically, I'm unboxing this box that Gilles gave me of components that he's gathered from 5 years ago, and I'm just pulling them all out. What you see there are 8 solenoids and 2 contactors. I'll leave a link in the description where you can purchase your solenoids and where you can find a couple 24-volt contactors like the one in this kit. Next, I find a couple dust grills and a couple fans. One of the fans will go in the bottom of the cabinet and the other one will go in the back of the cabinet, pulling air in from the bottom and expelling it through the back. Those dust covers have been great at keeping all the dirt out of the cabinet and keeping it nice and clean inside. Next up, I find a hinge for the back box, and I find that Gilles has powder coated these and they look really nice. They have kind of like a gold fleck in them. Gilles, from talking to him, said that he's going to do his lockdown bar and legs also, and it's kind of like this sparkly gold fleck, which will match really nice with his cabinet design of Pinball magic. Next, I find the shaker motor from Zeb's kit. It's got a little safety feature with an acrylic guard, and here I'm just trying to explain how the guard works and how it keeps your hands safe or whatever if you're inside the cabinet. Next up here, we're going to find a light bar. I'm just trying my best to get through all this bubble wrap and pull this baby out of here. What you have here is 5 LED flashers and 2 strobe lightings, and I'm just kind of showing off the wiring, how it looks. The second light set. This one is supposed to go inside the cabinet and not as the topper. So what I'm doing is I'm just breaking into it. It's pretty much the same thing, just without the strobes, so I'm going to pass right over this. Next, I find a string of 12-volt LED lights, and I start talking right away about this on how I'm going to show you guys how I install these LED lights. And I hope you guys find that video interesting when we get to that. Here we find Zeb's version 1 plunger kit. And I'm talking all about the plunger kit, how much I enjoyed it, and I liked it so much that I bought his version 2. Anyway, Steve is sending us version 3, and I'm very excited about that, and that's all I'm really talking about here. And also, I guess all the stuff that I was piling up was on my wife's keyboard and wreaking havoc with the computer there. Anyway, so I'm just talking about the plunger kit and the one that's coming. And here I find Zeb's main board. This is where all the toys plug into, including the Pack 64, which transitions into the inputs that handle. This board works all of the toys, both 5 bar flashers and all the button indicating lights like extra ball and start, launch ball, coin indications, 12-volt solenoids, and even up steps itself to the 24-volt contactors, which we're going to be installing. Next, we find the booster board. Now this handles additional inputs, like let's say if you want to install chimes, or if you want to install a blower, or anything extra that you can think of for toys. The booster board connects with a ribbon cable right back to the Pack 64, handling, well, it does it's exactly what it says, 64 inputs. So next I find the controller board, and this controller board is just an additional piece that goes in the Pack 64, and it just goes right on top of here, and I'm just showing how I install it. Just reading the directions, make sure I'm installing it correctly, lining it up, and talking to you guys, and then I'm going to pop this baby in. Last but not least is the replay knocker, and I'm just wrapping up this part of the video, and we're going to go over to the computer and we're going to do a little bit of SketchUp work. Thanks for staying with us. So a couple of days have gone by since I did the first part of that video there. I've been pretty busy. I've been working on SketchUp. I tried to do it in a tutorial, but it was every time I got doing it, I got distracted or busy, or what I was doing wasn't working or something like that, so it didn't go over that good. Basically, for SketchUp, this is my quick and dirty type video. The fundamentals for SketchUp are covered by April Wilkerson. She is a phenom when it comes to building stuff, and she does her projects in the same way that I do. She starts it first with SketchUp and then does it. So anyway, I'm going to have links to her SketchUp videos in the description below. I want you guys to go over the fundamentals of SketchUp, and just know that you can go to sketchup.com and try SketchUp out for free. Actually, more than trying out SketchUp for free, you can do it. More than trying it out, you can use this as your project for doing projects and stuff like that. Basically, plans and things, they go for personal here, and then they have a free web version. It's pretty good. There are other versions on the internet that you could download and stuff like that maybe aren't the most legit, but they're out there. But yeah, you can get started with this one. And I'm going to show you a couple little things that I've done with my cabinet here, now there's some work that I can't do, that I don't have a CNC or CNC or a laser cutter or anything like that. So this is one thing that I'm sending out to Plastics Plus to be cut. So this is SketchUp in 3D view here. And basically what we're doing here is we're going to give Chris what is called a DFX file. And then he can put this on his CNC machine and then cut out my speaker grills on a 1/2 inch acrylic and basically drill my holes here. And that's all I really need him to do, because the rest is going to be a graphic. I started working on a template for this. This is great. SketchUp, you can make a template that can work in Photoshop. It's actually really easy to do. If I was to basically make this a template, you'd want to make that as big as you can. And then you'd want to make sure that you are totally facing forward. So you just want to make sure that you have it directly facing you. You want to have your camera angle in parallel projection. And then you just go right here, File, Export, 2D Model, 2D Graphic. And then you want to go and choose what you want to export that as. So you can go down here for DXF. Right here, and now with this, Chris can import that into a CNC machine and cut that basically out. And all I really want him to do is get the length, the width that is on this thing, and drill the holes in the right places, and that's it. I mean, you can do this with a hole saw on your thing, but what you're risking is like it's 1/2 inch acrylic, and if you don't do it right, you could get splitting on the acrylic and all that kind of stuff. It's better to do it with a machine that they know plastics, and that's why I do it that way. Okay, so basically, I'm just going to export this, actually. This is something that I still have to do. I got a folder here set up for Chris, and then I export it into there. And now, we can go into that folder of Chris. Chris is there. So I actually made him a JPEG, what I want. I just took a thing, and this is all the dimensions, and the dimensions of where the holes are at right here, 54, and then the radius of this, and then the distance from the middle to the middle again, from the bottom, from the side, and stuff like that. So he'll be able to figure everything out. The guy's a genius. He knows this stuff, so he'll be able to figure it out from this thing, what I'm wanting in here, so he'll be able to do his tooling and stuff properly. Okay, SketchUp, let's actually turn some stuff on and show you guys what I've been working on. Okay, so we want to go to Window, Default Tray, Show Tray, and let's just turn everything on. I have to modify the light bars in the first part of the video because Gilles doesn't want the strobe inside his light and inside his cabinet. So we're going to throw the strobing on the top part of the cabinet and the topper that we're going to build. So I drew all those. Sorry I didn't draw it with you guys. So many things happen when you have kids and all the rest of it. But I think if you go and just see basically April Wilkerson's thing about the fundamentals of drawing with SketchUp, you'll be able to get it quite nicely. So this is what I drew. This is what we're gonna do, kind of like my machine that you saw. So I just redrew this out and put it right there. And basically, I'm gonna make myself a template, and you can do that in SketchUp too. Like I could just turn everything else off, have this one just facing me, have a template, and basically drill exactly where that is. So what that would be is using your printer and then you would have to put pages together. Like if you just have a regular business thing and then put pages together, you could drill exactly where your holes are and cut that wood piece out. This one piece, this is actually going to be done in acrylic, and again, I'm going to make that a DSX file and send that to Chris as well, and he's going to be able to etch on. I think we're going to just use the Pinball Magic is what we're going to put on here, Pinball Magic. I haven't talked to Gilles what he wants on his topper, but whatever he wants, we'll do. And then we got to make a nice little graphic in here in Photoshop, which, yeah, I'm not sure what he wants. Maybe he wants Bally or Williams words put on there. I know a great decal guy. He'll get the thing all printed up for us, so it will look really nice on that acrylic. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about SketchUp and stuff like that, definitely send me the questions. I'm not the foremost expert on it or anything like that, but if you're having trouble with something and you want to pop a question in there, I'm more than happy to answer you guys. I've been answering a couple different things on the first video there, a couple different questions. I'm surprised at the response that I got from it. A lot of people reaching out, and yeah, so it seems like a really good time. I'm excited to do this project with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.